Map arts. One of 2B2T's most creative ways for art. Map arts are used to display many things like events, news, tributes, and various artworks. Typically, the size of these maps ranges from 1 to 4 unique maps. However, players will sometimes go from the norm and attempt to build the largest map art. Today in this video, you'll learn about the 3 largest current map arts on 2B2T and how these players' hard work and dedication sets an example for future map arts. Starting at number 3 is Mapopoly. This story begins in late May 2021. A player named Oofplux was going on a 2B2T tour where he visited old bases and monuments. One of these bases was Block Game Mecca, a well-known base on the server. He had no intention of going there at first due to the distance from spawn, but his friend Jimyy persuaded him to do so because the place had interesting ruins and also mentioned he had discovered something completely ungriefed. When Oofplux arrived, Block Game Mecca's ruins weren't too bad and most of the structures were completely intact. As Oofplux continued to explore the base, he stumbled upon a massive industrial farm. It was a vast, carved out area with cactus and a colossal carpet duper in the middle of nowhere. On Discord, Oofplux would message a player named Joey Coconut, a member of Block Game Mecca, about the location. The industrial farm was a collective effort with the players Slappin' Bag Kids, Burke Bryan, Joey Coconut, JV Newman, Maka_2508, and others. Joey helped build it in the summer of 2017, and when Block Game Mecca was made public by a player named Beardler, the group took a world download, but avoided the farm and plugged a tunnel to the location. Joey would tell Oofplux that there were players before him, one of which was named Jimyy, and the group Backstreet Boys that took around 200 dubs of carpet from the carpet duper. After looking in the carpet duper storage chests, there were still dubs of different colored carpets. Not knowing what to do with it, Oofplux contacted his friend Dawnfall_, and using a proxy service, Dawnfall was able to use one of Oofplux's alternate Minecraft accounts to help move the carpets to a base belonging to Dawnfall's group, T-Gang. After a week of moving the carpet shulkers, Dawnfall messaged Oofplux with an idea: make a completely functional Monopoly board with the carpet as a project for the group. Dawnfall got the inspiration for the map from a smaller Monopoly board map art created at the Spawn Mason base, Smithville. The location for the Monopoly board took some planning, and the group had an area ready to go near the main base at the time. The group also invited the players _smokescreen_ and IronException to help with the project during this time. However, the base was accidentally leaked, and the group moved to a different site during the NoCom exploits. This was a risky move, but they didn't have any other options. Dawnfall found a decent location in a snow biome with a small amount of ocean and used black carpet to lay out the map's outline. In mid-July 2021, T-Gang members Oofplux, Dawnfall_, IronException, Salted Defeat, _smokescreen_, Cami MC, and Mechanique would begin terraforming the area. The majority of the terraforming was done AFK, using a module called Baritone, with about 20% being done manually. Dawnfall created the design in June 2021. He built the map 11 by 11 so that each property would have its own map that they could hold. He needed something that represented 2B2T in the center, so he asked IronException to use a 2019 spawn render. He chose Rebane 2001's Popstonia skin for the center, since it was the closest he could get to the Monopoly guy of map art. The group would terraform at a rapid pace for the first month, with IronException placing the majority of the carpet. However, in the following months, they would start to slow down. One of the members, _smokescreen_, left, which made construction more difficult. During late September to mid-November, the project had some very active spurts of activity and long periods of inactivity. By November 3rd, 2021, the project had reached halfway point, and by early January 2022, IronException had developed a new terraforming approach that would be more efficient and would speed up the project. Things appeared to be going well, but something would go wrong in February 2022. A player named Elysior and his friends found a location, but the group didn't notice until a few weeks later. While Oofplux was building, he caught the players Kummerman and Avia Sales moving the stash. T-Game made a deal where Elysior's group could keep parts of the stash they had already moved and could also help out in the construction of the map. On March 5th, 2022, the player Pyro the Great found the map art. He didn't destroy it, however, instead was incredibly kind, able to piece together sections of the map's story through observation and signs left by Oofplux at a stash 20,000 blocks away. The last 2 months of the project were very active, as the group was excited to finish, and _smokescreen_ came back after nearly 7 months of inactivity to help clean up some areas of terrain that was left floating in the sky above the map. As of March 23, 2022, the map is fully complete. The group will play a game of Monopoly, and you can find a Reddit post by T-Gang in the description. Mapopoly consists of 11 by 11 map arts, or 121 unique maps, totaling 1,982,464 carpet blocks. One of the goals was to make it the largest map on 2B2T, and it nearly doubled the previous largest 2B2T map called Gotta Catch 'Em All by a player named Harry_Harry, and would have been the 4th largest survival map art at the time of planning. However, while this map art was being constructed, a much bigger map art was in the works. The second largest map art on 2B2T has been in the works for almost 2 years and is nearly twice as large as Mapopoly. The story begins in 2020 when a player named Kevin Casey 2014 was choosing a picture for his next map art. While looking for artwork, he came across an image called Mirror, created by the artist WLOP. Kevin was blown away by the art and decided to go with it, putting multiple algorithms to the test to find the best building outcome. Kevin had to choose between building the map flat, dual layered, or staircased. The first 2 options had a lot of dithering noise, so he decided to go with the staircased option. This map would be 21 by 12 maps big, so Kevin had to use a stash for materials. The stash had map art blocks he needed, but lacked supporting blocks. He built a stone generator and grinded for a month to gather 75 dubs of stone blocks. He was also short on terracotta blocks and carpet in specific colors, so he mined 2 Mesa biomes for 16 dubs of terracotta and set up a villager trading post to get carpets. Little by little, Kevin would place blocks in a staircase, and progress was very slow. In August 2021, Kevin saw a sign appreciating the build. A few days later, another sign would appear, and in total, 5 visitors found the base, and all found the map extremely impressive. In March 2022, the map was complete with 252 unique maps, or a total of 11 million blocks. Kevin would upload his map art in the Map Artists of 2B2T Discord on March 15th, 2022, and many players were blown away by the level of detail and effort that went into the map. This map, however, was not the largest, and another with more than double its size. With a total of over 7 million blocks, the largest map art on 2B2T is created by a player named Rebane2001. Not much information can be told, as it could lead to the discovery of the location, but here is what I can say. Sometime in 2021, Rebane wanted to build a map as a gift for the NoCom team. For the map, he would use an overworld heat map generated from player data that was accomplished by the NoCom exploit. He would construct it at the Spawn Mason's main base, called Sky, and would work on it alone. He didn't use programs like Baritone or Schematic for this, only his own custom software. Rebane would use many of the shared Spawn Mason's Minecraft accounts to make the process more efficient, and after only a week, the map was completed. The player Negative Entropy and other Spawn Masons would construct a star-shaped decoration around the map art, and on November 17th, 2021, Rebane would post the map art in the Map Artists of 2B2T Discord with the name No Comment. 3 weeks after the construction, maps were reset, making the map item frames messed up. Around a month later, the Spawn Mason's main base was compromised by the Log4j exploit. This caused the Masons to create a Reddit post on December 13th, 2021, saying that they would halt construction. Today, Rebane's no common map art status is unclear. However, this map helped improve Rebane's program so that it can now work on colored maps. For example, this 8x8 map art was made in less than a week. Currently, these are the top 3 biggest map arts on 2B2T. Their presence will most likely lead to bigger and more fascinating map arts. And outside 2B2T, there are many unique map arts that will be talked about in future videos. It goes to show that with hard work and dedication, anything is possible.